Welcome back, everyone, to TV Tacoma's CityLine. We have so much still to share with all of you, so I'll jump right into our next segment. We are joined here with our friends from the Tacoma Art Museum, and joining us first in line on the couch is David Setford. You are the Executive Director of Tacoma Art Museum. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having us. We're always delighted to come here.
Love to have you here. And we're also joined by Faith Brower. You are the Haub Curator of Western Art. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Margaret Bullock, you are the Interim Chief Curator and Curator of Collections and Special Exhibitions. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, David, there's a lot going on. A lot going on at Tacoma Art Museum. I think sometimes people have the misconception that we all start to wind down at the end of the year, but that doesn't seem to be the case for Tacoma Art Museum. What do you all have going on?
Well, you're right, there is so much, and people tend to think that we live in a nice, quiet place, but we work in a nice, quiet place, but there's just so much going on. So we have this incredible pair of exhibitions right now. We have Bartot Tam, which, if you didn't already know or couldn't guess, is an exhibition of cells of artwork that went towards the creation of the first 12 or 13 seasons of The Simpsons on TV. And this show is amazing, and you have to come and see it. And we've extended it so that on New Year's Eve, there's an opportunity for people to visit it till 8 p.m. So, which will be the last day that they can go and see. So it's an amazing opportunity. And a beautiful show.
Oh, I don't doubt it. And tell us, what inspired you to bring it here to Tacoma Art Museum?
It was one of those fortuitous things, and Margaret can chip in if she wants to. But she was really involved in doing that, and it was a collector who came here and was who had a lot of collections of animation art, and was showing it to the curators, including Margaret, and she really honed in on The Simpsons, because that's part of her background as well. So she really wanted us to do that, and that made a fabulous show. But also, we've got Monet, Renoir, Degas, French Impressionism and the Northwest on at the moment, which is another amazing show, which is based on our own collection that was given to us in 1982 by the Lindbergh family from Lakewood. And we borrowed works from other museums and private collectors in the Northwest. And it's a really fabulous show that talks about how French Impressionism developed, and how important it was, and how it came to the Northwest, and how it influenced the artists of America in the Northwest. So it's a must-see. And the most fun thing has been watching the people who come from The Simpsons, for The Simpsons, and the people who come for Monet and Renoir and Degas, meeting and going to see each show. And it's been a really wonderful experience to see
I bet it has been. And I think from one spectrum to the other, and really having each of the audiences appreciate the other exhibitions that they're seeing, to be able to open up their perspectives a little bit. And I think that is really what we're trying to do, is inspire people to think differently, look at other perspectives, and appreciate all these wonderful exhibitions.
TAM and many museums are not just doing the same old thing, and are engaging people from all different walks of life. And if we can do that, then we're proud. We've got other great events coming up. On the 14th of December, we take part in the Holiday Hall Crawl. And we'll be open from 10 till 4:30, and we'll have a 20% discount in the store. We'll have gift wrapping, we'll have gingerbread decorating, we'll have cider, hot cider, and all sorts of great things going on. And then on the 19th, we have our winter celebration, which is free to all from 5 till 8 p.m. A lot of great things going on, including a performance of a part of the Nutcracker from Tacoma City Ballet, and the Emerald City Cadets doing caroling. So it's a really wonderful opportunity. And at both of those, people will not just be able to come in free, but they'll be able to sign up for memberships at 20% off. So it's a really nice opportunity to become part of a larger part of the museum family.
And it really sounds like Tacoma Art Museum truly has its doors open for all to come. Everybody is welcome, and really, again, to share these rich exhibitions with different audiences and really opening up people's minds. And Faith, for you, tell us a little bit about your role and responsibilities with curating, and obviously centered around the Haubcure exhibition.
I work with an incredible collection of Western American art, and we are getting ready to open a new exhibition on February 1st that will feature the work of John James Audubon, a noted naturalist artist, and I'm pairing him with a local Tacoma artist, Ryan Feddersen, who works on incredible interactive murals.
And so I'm sure this might have been a little bit of a dance with you and Margaret, because you've got Western art and then you're bringing in the Simpsons. How did that conversation happen? How did that get started? Because I'm still trying to process in my head, how did that work? So what led to that discussion, or what inspired that vision?
Well, the exhibition schedule is always an interesting discussion between all of us, and we try to offer a balance of projects that all varieties of audiences might be interested in seeing. And so when we have an interesting opportunity like The Simpsons, and to pair it with something like Impressionism, I know seems a little bit loony, but as David was saying, it brings in a whole variety of people and lets us talk about art in all different forms, like you were just saying yourself, to open it up to different people and different ideas. And for Faith's show, I know that she's gone and taken the idea within her exhibition of joining two artists together too you might not normally put together. So we try to mix it up in different ways and find different ways to have people look at art and think about it.
And I think that's what's so inspiring, and also with all the friends who we just talked with earlier in the segments, that's what's so beautiful about what you all do, is really pushing the limits and not just doing the traditional things that we all kind of count on, but inspiring us as those who are coming into your facilities to really think differently and really appreciate the other art forms and exhibitions that are out there that you might not really take that risk to do, and you all are really kind of pushing that and encouraging that, and I love that energy, because one would not think, I think it is a little loony, but hats off to all of you, because it's clearly working, right? So Margaret, Faith talked about what's coming up in February, but you also have something coming up in February that's opening. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it's an exhibition on the art that was done under the federal art projects in the 1930s. So you have to put up with a little history first to get there. But during the U.S. economic depression, President Franklin Roosevelt decided to come up with all these programs that provided jobs to all the unemployed in the United States. And it started out as public works things like bridges and roads and all that sort of thing. And then they realized there were all these other people that still needed work too, that were office workers and artists. And so they started a program to hire artists to make work that became public art that went into all the federal buildings and into schools and post offices and courthouses. But unfortunately, the projects ended when we entered World War II really abruptly, and a lot of work was lost and a lot of the records were lost. So this is an exhibition that really celebrates what happened here in the Northwest under those programs. And a lot of it is new discoveries, that they've been forgotten or people didn't know where they had gone since the projects ended in 1942. So we're really lucky to have found things and to be able to share them with people again.
And how do you find works to borrow for these exhibitions? Where do you get started?
Right, it's a lot of investigative work and a lot of research, and thankfully there's a whole network of people who are fascinated by the topic and who have been out there working diligently to find things. So we go looking in closets and in hallways and talking to everybody we can, asking about it. And so we've been able to find some work in area museums, but also we're fortunate to be able to borrow from the amazing Timberline Lodge on Mount Hood in Oregon, from several schools. And we're also really fortunate that the timing of our exhibition and some work on buildings has lined up together. So we're actually going to be able to borrow a couple of large murals that normally are attached to the wall and don't go anywhere. So people will be able to come see some 12-foot 8-foot long paintings that are originally for post offices and schools and things like that.
Beautiful. And I know that when I go into Tacoma Art Museum, I appreciate what I'm seeing, but I don't think I have a true picture of what happens behind the scenes. So thankfully, you're a subject matter expert doing all of that hard work.
I think the word is nerd.
Call it what you will, but you're doing a fabulous job. And Faith, really quick before we get back to David and a couple other questions that I have for you, who is that furry friend on your back?
Yes,
I'd like to know a little bit more, and I bet our viewers want to know.
Yeah, this is our unofficial mascot, Leroy. He is based off of Scott Fife, a Northwest artist's sculpture that is on permanent exhibition at TAM, and it's a 13-foot tall sculpture. And very exciting to see. So when you visit, please make sure you stop by and see Leroy.
I don't think we're going to miss him.
And he's in our gift store, and he's a great holiday gift.
I think he'd be a great stocking stuffer. He looks pretty cute. Hopefully you're leaving him for me. So David, we have just really a few quick seconds, but I know Tacoma Creates is a brand new initiative here in Tacoma. It's going to do amazing things for us in the arts world here in Tacoma.
For the whole of Tacoma.
Yes, all of Tacoma. And so super quick, just share with us in a quick, brief second, what is that going to do for TAM?
Well, we're so pleased that that ordinance passed on Tuesday. And what it's going to allow us to do is really double down on the work we're doing in the community. We do amazing pre-school day programs and after-school programs in schools across Tacoma that really help to encourage kids' self-esteem and bring them to a part of learning that they don't get in schools anymore, which is to do with arts. But it also is going to help us work on access. Our Thursday evenings are always free. We want to come up with more ways to give free access to people. So that's another thing that's going to really be able to help us with. And in general, just to do more work in the communities and with our communities. So we're really, really excited.
Well, I'm really excited too. I'm excited for Tacoma because Tacoma Creates is really going to be that incubator for so many more things that we can do as a community. And I just want to thank the three of you for being with us today. Happy holidays to all of you. I know we'll be looking for Leroy, and congratulations on a very successful year, and certainly good luck for another wonderful year next year, and keep up the great work. Really appreciate all that you do. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you. And please stay tuned and come back with us. We actually will be talking with the Puget Sound Rebels and their Christmas Revel segment, so we'll be right back.